I was working the front desk at a small hotel in Norway. An American couple stormed in, furious. Our dog sledding tour got cancelled because of snow, the woman shouted. Can't you call the government and move the storm somewhere else for a few hours? In America, we control weather all the time. I blinked. Unfortunately, we do not have that technology. She looked genuinely disappointed, as if Norway was failing her vacation. My friend from Kenya was attending college in Michigan. Her roommate asked, "Wait, if you're Kenyan, shouldn't you speak some animal language? Like lions? How do you communicate with people?" My friend spent 20 minutes explaining that human languages aren't linked to animals. The roommate nodded slowly, unconvinced. I guided a group of tourists around the Colosseum in Rome. One guy looked at the ruins and asked, "Did they call 911 when the gladiators got hurt?" Terrible emergency response for ancient times. I explained 911 didn't exist in 80 AD. He shook his head solemnly. They really had no plan, huh? Sad. On a flight to London, an American businessman leaned over. "I can't wait to see the Tower of London. That's where the Queen lives, right?" I gently informed him she lives at Buckingham Palace. He scoffed. No, that's just her summer home. The tower is the main castle. It's in all the movies. Like the White House. I showed him a website. He dismissed it. Fake news. His new wife visited rural Ireland. She stared at the sheep grazing in the fields. "So, do you bring them inside at night? Or do the shepherds take them home?" My uncle said they stay outside. She gasped. "But what if a lion or bear attacks?" We explained Ireland doesn't have lions or bears. She looked horrified. "Then why does anyone live here?" I worked in a fancy restaurant in Paris. An American couple ordered a rare Bordeaux. When the sommelier presented the bottle, the man waved it off. "No need. Just pour it over ice. Big glasses. Make a slushie." The sommelier's jaw dropped. He tried to explain you don't drink fine red wine with ice. The man insisted. "I paid for it. I do what I want. That's how we drink it in California." A student from my university in Scotland tried to buy a train ticket to London. He came back furious. "They're charging me in pounds. I want to pay in dollars. I'm American. They have to accept it. It's their obligation." I explained international travel works differently. He shook his head. "They're discriminating against Americans. Outrageous." On a tour of the Great Pyramids in Egypt, a woman kept asking the guide, "I see the hieroglyphics. But where's the English translation? Didn't the ancient Egyptians think about tourists?" The guide explained that English didn't exist back then. She frowned. Short-sighted. Totally user-unfriendly. My sister worked as a cashier in Toronto. A man looked at his total and said, $28? That's ridiculous. In America, the price is what it says on the tag. Not including tax. This is dishonest. She explained the shelf price includes tax in Canada. He glared. America has freedom. Canada does not. At a cafe in Vienna, an American teenager complained, "Everything is old. Buildings, art, music, boring. Why isn't there a mall? Or a roller coaster?" Her mother nodded quietly. "Europe is quaint." She groaned. "Quaint is not fun." I rented bikes in Amsterdam. An American asked, "Do you have automatic bikes? Like in the US, where I don't have to shift gears?" I explained our city bikes have internal hubs, easy to ride. "No," he said. "Automatic. I shouldn't have to think. Upgrade your inventory. Attract American customers." A group of Americans came to the Dublin pub I worked at. I recommended Guinness. One frowned. "Too dark. Looks like motor oil. Where's the green beer? It's Ireland. Everything should be green. We have green beer back home for St. Patrick's Day. Should be all year." I smiled politely. On a bus in Florence, an American woman complained to her friend, "Drivers are crazy. Steering wheel on the wrong side. Confusing. They should use the American system, left-hand drive. Universal standard." I bit my tongue. Italy drives on the right. At the British Museum, an American stared at the Rosetta Stone. "Wait, this is the software? I use Rosetta Stone to learn Spanish. Why a giant rock version? It's inefficient, my app is better. The staff blinked for a minute and walked away. In a history class, a Canadian student asked, if we fought Britain, why invade Canada? Aren't they neighbors? The professor explained Canada was British territory. The student nodded, unconvinced. Still rude, like attacking Mexico for revenge on Spain. I worked at a hotel in New Zealand. An American called at 3 a.m., panicking. The moon is upside down. Are we in a dome? Reflection? What is happening? I calmly explained Southern Hemisphere perspective. He insisted it was a conspiracy. A honeymooning American couple visited a Thai elephant sanctuary. The wife asked, do you have puppy-sized elephants? I saw one online. I want one in my apartment. We'll pay extra. The guide patiently explained miniature elephants don't exist. On a train in Japan, an American showed his passport instead of a ticket. He said loudly, American passport. Free ride. Treaty after World War II. The conductor eventually called security to escort him off. A student believed the UN headquarters in New York was sovereign American territory. It's in New York, so we should have final say on every UN decision. Guests from other countries are technically on our soil. No argument convinced him otherwise. At a cafe in Sydney, an American tourist asked for regular coffee. I explained espresso, long black, flat white. He glared. No. From a pot. Drip coffee. How do you not have regular coffee in 2025? Behind the times. An American tried to pay at a bakery in Germany with a $100 bill. It's worth more than your euro price. You're losing money. Bad business. You'd never survive in America with this attitude. On a walking tour in Quebec City, a Texan woman asked, where are the English signs? Is there an English part? It feels exclusionary. We're spending money. Make it readable for us. The guide smiled. Madam, you're in the English part. At a Mexican beach resort, an American complained, the ocean is too salty. Swallowed some. Disgusting. You should filter it. Florida isn't this salty. I paid for luxury. He was genuinely outraged by natural ocean salinity. My American roommate in Madrid demanded a garbage disposal. How do you deal with leftovers? Unsanitary. Animals. Europe is in the dark ages. Landlord, install a modern American sink. I explained trash bins. She wrote a stern letter. At the Acropolis in Athens, an American said, the ruins look rundown. Are there plans to rebuild? Maybe add glass roofs? In the US, historic sites are pristine. The guide smiled. Madam, this is the original structure. She frowned. It needs a makeover. We expect standards. In a souvenir shop near Buckingham Palace, an American asked, can I meet the Queen? Or a prince? Selfie? $200 budget. Quick. I told him it's not possible. He looked disappointed, as if royalty were an ATM. In Switzerland, a man said, the Alps are too slow. Can you speed them up? Ski lifts are inefficient. My friend stared. Mountains don't move. The lifts are the fastest way up. He shook his head. Back home, everything is optimized. A tourist in Iceland asked, the geysers, do you turn them on at certain times? We have a reservation for 7 p.m. Want to catch the main show. I explained its natural geothermal activity. She seemed disappointed. I guided tourists at Machu Picchu. One American kept asking, did they have Wi-Fi? How did people communicate? Shouldn't the government maintain it? I explained ancient civilizations didn't have networks. He nodded slowly. We need to update it. A woman in Japan asked, do the samurai still protect temples? Should I bow to them? I explained samurai history ended centuries ago. She looked sad. They should have modern equivalents. At Niagara Falls, a family asked, where's the American side? Canadian side? Which one is ours? I explained the falls are on both sides. They argued we should have exclusive ownership. A tourist in Morocco asked, why isn't everything in English? Shouldn't government buildings translate everything? I explained local languages. She replied, it's inconvenient. We pay taxes. Should be English first.